Perfect wisdom. With the divisions of the Abhisamilakra. Translated by EdwardConze 1904–1979. University of California Press, Berkeley, Los Angeles, London. Chapter 75. The exposition of imperturbability. Subhuti. If absolutely no being is apprehended, nor the concept of a being, for the sake of whom does the bodhisattva develop perfect wisdom? The Lord. Having made the reality limit into a standard, a bodhisattva courses in perfect wisdom. If the reality limit were one thing, and the being's limit another, a bodhisattva would not courses in perfect wisdom. But since the reality limit is not one thing, and the being's limit another, therefore the bodhisattva courses in perfect wisdom for the sake of beings. Coursing in perfect wisdom, the bodhisattva, without upsetting the reality limit, establishes beings in the reality limit. Subhuti. If the reality limit is the being's limit, how, then, can one establish the reality limit in the reality limit? If the reality limit were actually established in the reality limit, then own being would be actually established in own being. How then does the bodhisattva, coursing in perfect wisdom, establish beings in the reality limit? The Lord. The reality limit is not established in the reality limit, nor own being in own being. Nevertheless the bodhisattva through his skill in means establishes the being's limit in the reality limit without upsetting the reality limit. And yet, the reality limit is not one thing and the being's limit another. In fact they are not two nor divided. Subhuti. What is the skill in means of the bodhisattva, endowed with which he establishes, coursing in perfect wisdom, beings in the reality limit, but without upsetting the reality limit? The Lord. Here the bodhisattva, coursing in perfect wisdom, from the first thought of enlightenment onwards establishes beings in giving. When he has done so he considers that gift at the beginning, end, and middle. Just as the gift is empty at the beginning, end, and middle, so is its fruit, and so are the donor and recipient. In this way all these objects do not really exist in the reality limit. Do not imagine that the gift is one thing, its fruit another, the donor another, and the recipient another. If you do not imagine these things, then your gift will become deathless and terminate in the fruit of deathlessness. But do not through this gift take hold of any of the skandhas. And why? Because this gift is empty of a gift, its fruit is empty of a fruit, and also the donor is empty of a donor and the recipient is empty of a recipient. For in emptiness no gift can be apprehended nor its fruit, no donor, and no recipient. And why? Because absolutely these dharmas are empty in their own being. Moreover the bodhisattva, coursing in perfect wisdom, establishes beings through his skill in means in morality. Come here, son of good family, having forsaken the taking of life, do you become one who abstains from the taking of life? 2. Having forsaken wrong views, do you become one who abstains from wrong views? There exists in these dharmas no such own being as you have imagined. Investigate therefore the dharmic facts when you rob living beings of life or consider that by which you rob them of their life. And this should be done up to wrong views. Endowed with this skill in means the bodhisattva, who courses in perfect wisdom, matures beings. He describes the fruit of that gift or morality, but he knows that they are both empty in their own being. Having known these fruits to be empty, he does not settle down in them and he produces first non-distraction and then wisdom. Through that wisdom he cuts off all unwholesome tendencies and all obsessions. And then enters the realm of nirvana which leaves nothing behind, but by way of worldly convention and not in ultimate reality. And why? Because in emptiness no dharma can be apprehended which enters final nirvana or which is made to enter it. For in fact absolute emptiness is his final nirvana. Moreover the bodhisattva, on having seen other beings and persons who have angry and hostile thoughts, instructs and admonishes them as follows. Come here, son of good family, perfect yourself in patience, develop patience, and become a tolerant person. he who has ill will, all these dharmas are empty of an essential nature. Do therefore investigate him who has ill will, him towards whom he has ill will and that which causes him to have ill will, and you will find that all these dharmas are empty of an essential nature. But the emptiness of essential nature is never not emptiness. It has not been made by the Tathagatas, nor by the Pratyekabuddhas, or disciples, or bodhisattvas, or gods, nagas too. The gods of the station of neither perception nor non-perception. Do therefore investigate him who feels ill will, him towards whom you feel ill will, or that whereby you feel ill will, and you will find that all these dharmas are empty of an essential nature. For emptiness does not feel ill will towards anyone. It is thus that a bodhisattva, coursing in perfect wisdom, through his skill in means enjoins the emptiness of essential nature upon beings, both as regards the cause and as regards the fruit. As a result he encourages them to gradually win the supreme enlightenment and establishes them in it, and that again by way of worldly convention and not in ultimate reality. And why? Because in the emptiness of essential nature there is no one who could attain, nothing through which he could attain, and not anything which he could attain. This is the reality limit. The emptiness of essential nature, wherein the bodhisattva courses in perfect wisdom for the sake of beings, although therein he apprehends no being or the concept of a being. And why? Because all dharmas have nothing to do with beings. Moreover, the bodhisattva who courses in perfect wisdom sees beings of inferior vigor and full of sloth, and with his skill in means he encourages them to physical and mental vigor. In the emptiness of essential nature, O son of good family, there exists no losing of heart, or whereby he would lose heart, or he who would lose heart. All these dharmas do not stray away from the emptiness of essential nature. Do generate mental and physical vigor, avoid indolence, and exert yourself in wholesome dharmas, whether by way of giving, to by way of all Buddha dharmas. All those dharmas, O son of good family, you should see as unobstructed, because of their emptiness. For in unobstructed dharmas there exists no losing of heart on the part of any dharma. It is thus that the bodhisattva, coursing in perfect wisdom, by his skill in means encourages beings to the emptiness of essential nature, settles, and establishes them in it. And he establishes them in such a way that no duality exists therein. And why? Because the emptiness of essential nature is not two nor divided. And a non-dual dharma cannot lose heart anywhere. Moreover, the bodhisattva who courses in perfect wisdom instructs and admonishes beings in vigor by way of the emptiness of essential nature. Come here, son of a good family, exert vigor, whether by way of giving, to by way of the 18 special Buddha dharmas. But do not attend to these dharmas from duality or from non-duality. And why? Because these dharmas are the emptiness of essential nature, and that should not be attended to from either duality or non-duality. It is thus that the bodhisattva, who courses in perfect wisdom, and who through his skill in means courses on the pilgrimage of a bodhisattva, matures beings. Having done so, he gradually establishes them in the fruit of a stream winner, to in the supreme enlightenment. Moreover, the bodhisattva, who courses in perfect wisdom, through his skill in means instructs and admonishes beings whose thought is distracted. Come here, son of good family, and develop transic concentration. May you not become one who has notions about either distraction or concentration. And why? Because these dharmas are the emptiness of essential nature. And in the emptiness of essential nature no dharma can be apprehended which could either be distracted or become one-pointed. When you have stood in this transic concentration, whatever wholesome root you may bring about, by body, voice, or mind,